Well, good morning. Welcome. And I'm so glad to finally get this thing underway and to have the inaugural the inaugural presentation. I don't know. I'm not gonna kill myself trying to find fancy words, but I'll just kind of start from the beginning, a little refresher course. My name is Chamblessed, and I am so profoundly grateful to be here and to be with you, and just to kind of share with you some things, just some things that have been on my heart and mind, and that God has just opened doors for me to be in this place with you right now. So I I think it's kind of unbelievable. It's one of those things that I envisioned a while back, and now it's here, and I'm okay, Lord, you tell me what to do, and here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm here to kind of do a dual purpose, as I said last week. My primary purpose is to share a little bit of scriptural truth with you, and then secondly, to share with you a product, a line of makeup, skincare makeup that I've started using in the last, year and a half or so, that I really, really love. And so you're probably looking at me right now and saying, wow, if that's how the makeup makes you look, then click. So, this is intentional. I absolutely come to you with not a stitch of makeup on, no pretension, no, with no assumption of that I have it together any better than any of you. But I am absolutely humbly offering to you a freedom that I have discovered that I just really is so profoundly helpful to me, and I just can't help but try and share it with you. And so if you're here, if you have any comments, great. If you have any questions, that's awesome too. I put my email address below if you'd rather do something privately. I'm happy to answer your questions after this. So here's kind of how we'll do this today. It'll be different each time. If you can stay through the whole thing, great. If you'd rather come back and watch the replay and go at your own speed, that's totally fine too. I am grateful for any amount of time you can offer. And so here's the thing. Today, I'm going to start with the devotional, and then I will do a full face of makeup. And so you can see from beginning to end how it goes, or how it goes for me. Anytime you watch a makeup demonstration, everybody does it differently. Everybody starts with something different. Everybody ends with something different, and the process is so individualized. You just never know. So anyway, but I'm going to start with the devotional today, because as I said, I have a clean face, and this is it. This is 49 years of history, 49 years of life, and even though I do appreciate makeup, I appreciate beauty products, hair products, all of those things. I decided to start like this because I want you to focus today, remembering that you, as a person, as a female, as a woman, as a human, are the most prized possession or the most prized creation of God, and that you were made in his image. You were made to glorify him on earth. And scripture says from almost the very, very beginning in chapter 1 of Genesis, verse 27. So we're not even into the second chapter of the Bible. In verse 27, it says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them." We are his treasure, and we are his perfectly individually sculpted creation. And we spend so much time and money trying to make what people can see on the outside look beautiful, and that's lovely. There's not anything wrong with that, except that God knows you from inside out, and so there's not enough makeup, there's not enough hair product, there's not enough exercise, there's not enough nutrition concepts that can cover up the sinful nature that separates us from God. And so women, we've got this standard that the world has set out for us, where beauty is a I stop short of using the word weapon, but it is definitely a tool that people use to manipulate situations, to get their way, to just to make things happen. And that's not how it was designed to be used. Our beauty is a gift from God. It's something that to be cherished and to be treasured and to be held closely and to be protected for husbands, and for the Lord. I mean, really, and it's not based on what is seen with your eyes. I would argue that probably if you listed the 10 most beautiful people in your life, you're not going to just list people that happen to look beautiful on the exterior. You're going to think of people that have touched your life in ways that where you've grown up with them, or they've just been very kind to you in difficult or wonderful circumstances, or mentors or whatever. So I would caution you to dig a little deeper and understand, and there's a whole chapter in Proverbs, chapter 31. It's the very end of Proverbs. It's the last 21 verses of the whole book. And you've probably heard of the Proverbs 31 woman. And if you read through that, it's verse 10 through 31. If you read through that, there's almost nothing about the way that woman looks. It's almost all about how she's a caretaker. She is trustworthy. She is gives attention to detail. She's generous. She's a hard worker, and she's ultimately observed by her husband and children. In one of the last verses, there are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. And so notice that they didn't say there are many women who have the best hair and the prettiest skin and the bluest eyes and the most beautiful eyelashes. That's not what they said. There are many women who are virtuous and capable, but you surpass them all. I mean, the next verse says, "Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last." Did you hear that? Beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. I mean, thank God that He gives us substantial qualities that matter so much more than what this looks like. So I say all that again. Focusing on all of those things does not mean that you ignore this. There's nothing wrong with making your face look beautiful, with making your body look beautiful, with wearing pretty clothes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when you prioritize it above knowing and serving God and obeying God, that's when it becomes a problem. And I'll give you a little short example. Back in 2003, for me, my weight has always been an issue for my whole entire life. And so in one of my weight loss ventures back in, 2003, I got into a Bible-based weight loss plan. It was fantastic, made a lot of new friends, and boy, God just really pressed on my heart how important it was, and got into it, and lost a ton of weight, and was feeling good and looked good, and all was well. And then trouble hit, and my first go-to thought was, well, wait a minute. I have worked so hard. I have devoted every moment to making myself look better, feel better, extend my life however long, I don't know. I've worked so hard at that, and now look what God's done. He's just decided, that's just not enough. And so, needless to say, that turned into just a series of self-destructive decisions. And but what happened was, all I was doing was looking at, first of all of the work that I had done, and not the quite literal magic that the Lord had worked in me to get to that point. And so all so when I turned inward and said, well, Becca, I guess that the reward for working really hard and for looking, better than you've looked in 15 years, that just doesn't matter. So it's really not worth it. Instead of saying, okay, Lord, you walked with me through this, which was hard. It was hard. And now I'll trust that you'll walk through this next challenge with me. And that is when beauty becomes a problem. Because you can't make yourself pretty enough on the outside for Jesus. You can't do it. And so getting into a relationship with him and letting him make you beautiful, especially from the inside, that is how you do it. I mean, that's the answer to this whole question. Some of you may not know how to do that, so I'll give you just a basic walkthrough of how to do that. When God created the world, when God created us, when he created the whole world, his creation and his original design was perfection. The world was perfect and the people in it were perfect. The thing that happened was sin. And it happened in me, it happens in you. There is no one that is exempted from this, except for Jesus. And so we completely destroyed that design. And so all of the things that we try, the beauty, the fame, the money, the career, all of those things, the alcohol, drugs, fame, I probably already said that. Anyway, all of those things, we think that can cover it up. It doesn't. It just leads us right back into the pit of despair and depression and suicidal thoughts and anxiety and all of those things. And so God said, because he's so generous, he said, I'll give myself up. And so he gave us Jesus. And he came and he lived on earth and he endured all of the things that we think we singularly experience. He endured the betrayal and loneliness and temptation and pain and hunger and fear, and he took on all of that on our behalf. And so now it's our choice to turn from our sinful ways and to follow him and to trust in him and to obey him and to live the life that he intended for us to live, which is a life full of joy and full of purpose and full of fulfillment and full of hope, because we know that this is not home. And so I would invite you to join me in that hope, because there is absolutely nothing like it. It has really transformed me into a new person. And I have known about the Lord all my life. And it's really only been in about the last 10 years that I have really come to actually know him, love him, and strive to serve him. And it has just been, it's been more than I ever could have asked. I told you about the Titus 2 woman, where the older women are supposed to be teaching the younger women along the way about, good character and about how to be a godly servant. And so at the end of that scripture, at the end of that chapter 2 of Titus, is my favorite verse ever. Incidentally, the first time I ever saw it was in that weight loss program back in 2003, and it stuck with me till then. But then I looked forward to the next two verses, and they're just essentially all of what I talked to you just now about Jesus. And it's Titus 2:11-14. For the grace of God has been revealed, bringing salvation to all people. Hi, Karen. Where am I? Verse 12. And we are instructed to turn from godless living and sinful pleasures. We should live in this evil world with wisdom, righteousness, and devotion to God, while we look forward with hope to that wonderful day when the glory of our great God and Savior Jesus Christ will be revealed. He gave his life to free us from every kind of sin, to cleanse us, and to make us his very own people, totally committed to doing good deeds. That's it. That's the gospel of Jesus. That is freedom in Christ, all summed up in 4 short verses. If you don't know him, but are curious, or you have questions, or you have doubts, or whatever, or if you just need prayer about something, please, my email address is right there. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to pray for you, pray with you, and try to maybe help walk you toward a relationship with him, because I cannot stress to you enough how valuable it is and how life-changing it is. So before we get to the next part, I'm going to pray for you right now, and I'm going to pray with you, and then we'll go on. Jesus, thank you for providing freedom for us, salvation and grace that we don't deserve. I pray for every woman who is watching right now and who will be watching in the future, and that hearts are softened and that they are attentive to you. And God, I just want you to get me out of the way and speak through me, so that you are revealed. And Jesus, we just love you, and we thank you for beauty, for inner and outer beauty, and for this time to fellowship together. And I just thank you for being a God of ideas and creativity and of beauty. And thank you for Jesus, and we love you, and it's in his precious, perfect name. Amen. So, okay, so now if you are going to stick around, now is the makeup time, and I got to get a couple little things switched around here. But you can stay here, you can ask questions. There's this thing at the bottom that I'm trying to get to go away. There it is. Oh, my husband is watching. Hi, Todd. Anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and do the makeup. And if you have questions, great. If you don't, okay, fine. I'm sure Todd will have a lot of questions about the makeup. Anyway, I'm going to get a couple things together here, but I thought I would also share with you that I'm trying to read a book a month this year. And so the book just read in February was so good. And it had a line in it that was really my whole goal for this. And the book is called, it's called You Who, like as in you who, I know it's backwards. And it's called, it's the subtitle is Why You Matter and How to Deal with It. And the author is Rachel Jankovic. And I'm telling you, she is a mom of 6, I believe. And boy, there's some powerful stuff in here. But there was a line in this book when she was talking about body image and all that. And she said, a Christian woman who is glorifying God will see that what she needs to be able to do is look in the mirror and love God. And when I read that, I thought, boy, because, before I got to the end of that sentence is, you automatically think, oh, well, you're supposed to look in the mirror and love what you see. You're supposed to love the Creator who made it like that. And, powerful. So anyway, I would highly, highly recommend this book. It is so, 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 so good. And a lot about your identity. Not the way the world wants you to look, but the way God wants you to look, and how he sees you. So, all right, so let's get to it. All right, so I typically wear glasses, and I can't do that obviously when I'm putting on makeup. So if I can't read your comments, it's because I don't have glasses on. So if you have questions, I will come back and answer later when I can actually see, because as you know, okay, hold on. My computer went dark. I need the light because I thought, oh, I'll sit out, it'll be perfect. The sun is perfect outside my window at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it is pouring rain today. So we get no sun, but so I have to have the backup computer light behind this. So as I told you the other day, the makeup line that I'm using is called Mascara Beauty, and it is Maskcara, because the woman who started it, Cara Brooke, her name's Cara. So mascara, right? So anyway, it is customizable, and you can build it into compacts like this. This is really about the biggest one, and there are some that are like half this size, and there are some that are even smaller than that. 1 layer. This one happens to be 2 layers. Like I have all of the cream products on the top, and then I have all the powders on the bottom, because you don't want to mix those, because if you get powder into your cream products, then it ain't pretty. And so this is it. This is all of the makeup except for actual mascara that I will use. This is it. This is my whole makeup, and then some brushes. And so I'm a believer. Well, I'm a believer, but I'm also a mascara believer. So anyway, Lord, you start trying to be cute and then it just doesn't seem cute. Okay, so first thing I did, and I did this prior to the video starting, is I used a setting spray. This is mascara setting spray, which they've taken off the shelf right now because they're redesigning the applicator, because they were having some problems with it jamming, so they're going back and redoing it. So I sprayed it onto a beauty blender. This is actually the mascara Perfector sponge, but a beauty blender. Most of you have seen this. And so I sprayed it, got it wet, and then put it all over my face. Basically a primer for my face. But I actually, so if you're watching this and you're really young, well, good for you. I am not really young, and so makeup does not stay on older skin like it does on younger skin. So not only do I use Stay Spray all over my face, or a setting spray all over my face, but I have to put a primer on my eyelids too, because otherwise my my eyeshadow is blotchy and gross by about 3 hours later. So put that on and then just leave it alone for just a few minutes. It's the one I have right now, and I've tried a million. Ulta has a store brand that's really, really good, and I use that, and I got that idea from a girl at church. But this one is the NYX Pigment Primer, and it's pretty good too. It's cheap. Not everything has to be department store brand, ladies. You just don't have to do that. Okay, so we'll come back to the setting spray later because it's going to make a reappearance. So, okay, so first things first. Sometimes I'll start with my eyeshadow and get that done so that anything that falls down here, I can just, wipe away or cover up when I do the foundation. But I'm going to start with my face today. Because I want to. And yeah, I'm gonna start with my face today. And actually, what I do, I just looked down and discovered I forgot to get a contour. So that's interesting. I wonder if I have an extra one in here. See, this is real life, ladies. Let's see if I happen to have an extra one in here, or I may need to hit pause and go get one. I don't think I have one in here. Darn. And there I thought I was being so prepared. Oh well. I hope you didn't just log on just now and hear me go. Yeah. Nope, that's bronzer. Okay. Well, troubleshooting 101. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? I think I can make it happen with what I have here. Okay, so sorry about that. I really thought I was all prepared. Best laid plans. Okay, so we're going to I'm going to make my bronzer so I don't have to run into the bathroom and get another product, because I don't want you just to be staring at nothing for a minute while I run away. So I'm gonna make bronzer act as contour today. And if you've never contoured, basically what it does, it just creates shadows in places where you want to kind of chisel out. Here and here, right under your cheekbone. Everybody has a cheekbone. Some of us have to dig a little deeper for them. So you put contour right here under your cheekbones, stopping kind of even with the outside edge of your eye. Here under your jawbone, just to make that look a little bit cut in. And so, so my brush, this is a mascara brush, and it's really good for this because it has this straight edge, so you can see. I'm using a mirror that's over here because that's too far away and I'm too blind. So here's my cheekbone, starts up here, and I'm just gonna press this up under. Don't freak out. I know it looks dark. I promise it will go away. It will not look like that for the rest of the time. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna go and press up under that cheekbone. Okay, I know it looks crazy. Then I'm not even gonna dip the brush back in. Then I'm gonna use the leftover product for down here because I don't need anything new. Okay, and so cheekbone, jawline, done. Then lightly press, and we'll go up here. Same thing, it's just creating a shadow. Really, and also it just brings attention to the center of your face, like right here in this, I guess, kind of heart-shaped thing. Your mouth, your eyes, right to the middle. It's just drawing attention to the center, okay? So I'm telling you, this looks like color by numbers until it's done. I promise it all works out. Well, especially if you know me. You see me, I don't come to church looking like I have paint by numbers face. Okay, so I'm going to do my nose later, but I got to get other colors on here. Okay, so then I'm going to switch to a different brush. By the way, mascara brushes are all double-ended. So you have, so like on that brush I just showed you, which is called the Detail Hack. And so this just opens a whole nother can, but hack in mascara world is highlight and contour. So what we just did was contouring. And if anybody who jumps on is the mascara person and you see that I've got Bella bronzer used as contour, I know. I just don't have one with me. So don't judge. Anyway, so this is the Detail Hack brush, and it has this flat side, which was really good for right here, here, and the jawline. And then the other end, which I will use to do the sides of my nose, which I'll show you in just a few minutes. But again, gotta go to the next step. So then I have the B squared brush, which is blush and bronzer. So I'm gonna come back to that bronzer again later. So here we go. So the colors that you use on your face, and probably, you know, if you want to look into this product, you're gonna send me a picture, or I'm gonna look at you right in your face, because I'll come to you, and I will, judging from the colors that I see on your face and the tone of your neck versus the tone of your face, the skin on your face, whatever, I will pick probably 2 different colors for you, because your face has a million different colors on it, right? So you can match this part to your neck, but then what about this part that has redness, or this part that's purple, or under your eye? You know, there's a million different things. So I would probably pick 2 colors called highlights in mascara world, which are foundation, and then this is a lighter color that you would use, you know, say under your eyes, down the middle of your nose, here and here, again, to draw attention to the center of your face. We want people looking at your eyes, not, you know, at the, where your ear meets your face. That's silly. Okay. So for me, I use 1 color down, pretty much T-zone, down the center of my face, like on my nose, right here, and on my chin, because I have some redness. It probably doesn't really show up too well, but I really do. I have redness just straight down. I have a little, I'm from Texas. I have Native American skin, and also as a teenager and 20-year-old, I was awful to my skin. Awful. Tanning beds, oh yeah, all that stuff. So don't do it. Wear sunscreen. Yeah. When I was growing up, that was just not a thing. Okay. So this color, and I literally took this brush and went tap, tap. That's it. Because you do not need a lot. Less is very much more, with this product. So, I'm just going to work this out above my eyebrows, down the side of my nose. By the way, if you need to go away and come back and watch later, that's wonderful. Say hi. I read your mind. How did I read your mind, Karen? So, yeah, if you need to go away and come back, that's fine. You can watch the replay later. If you do watch the replay, just comment down here and put #replay so that I know you came back. So, okay, so I did that. Again, I did not use a lot of product. I did that on purpose. because you can build this stuff. You know, there's times when I need it to be full coverage. Hey, Lisa, long time no see. So there's times when I need this to be built, you know, need this to be a little thicker coverage so that, you know, my under eyes are covered, whatever. But right now, I mean, this is a casual day. I have church tonight, and from the dark highlights on your cheeks. Yeah, you're probably like, what the heck? Yeah, this will go away. I promise. 1,000% promise. Anyway, so the next thing I want to do is I want to do a little bit of, yes ma'am, Lisa. Next, I'm going to do a little bit, you see I have this pretty age spot right here. I'll address that. And then I'm going to get right down here below. The contour and the highlight products all have coverage in them. So you don't have to put all of your foundation on and then stack a contour on top of that in order to get coverage. It all has coverage. So I'm not going to put, that's why I started with the contour, because it covers up, you know, any redness or blemishes or whatever. So I'm fine with that. All right, so now I'm going to go into a little bit lighter color for over here and run that back along my jawline and right here in front of the contour. Bring that down a little bit and blend it. I promise all of this is going to get blended later. Same thing on the other side. Also, this video will be long. All the rest of them will not be like this. Trust me. Well, you're just gonna have to. Okay, and then I'm gonna go up here above it where it meets my temple, but I'm trying not to get right under my eye. So something I have discovered in doing this makeup, well, I've learned not only from doing it myself, but also from watching other people, is that when you start to age, these little bitty fine lines, stacking product under here really just pretty much just accentuates that. And so the less stuff you can put here, the better. The less attention you can draw here, the better. So I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so now my face is pretty well covered. I can't see because all the comments are covering it up, so I'll have to look over here, and I'll deal with that little age spot. So I'm going to go back in that first color, which for me was mango, and I'm just going to tap that on there like that, and then leave it alone. Okay, and then walk away, right? Okay, so then I'm going to go back to that contour color, which really isn't contour, but we're going to pretend that it is. So if you want to make your nose thinner, which I do, the way to do this is to, I just went doot, doot, in the color. There's a hair in front of my eye that's driving me bananas. And then you want to draw a line just to the outside of the bone on top of your nose on both sides, like this. Okay? So here and here. Okay? And so now you've got this. Then you go to that lighter color I mentioned, and I'm going to use my fourth finger, and I'm going to draw a line of that highlight, that lighter highlight, right between them. Okay, see how that pulls my nose in? Again, I'm going to blend it. I promise. It's all gonna make sense. If I was not explaining this would only take me about 15 minutes. But since I'm explaining it, it just takes a little bit longer. So then I'm going to tap this little brush up here and kind of blend it out a little bit. I'm going to use that Beauty Blender sponge to do the nose so that it doesn't smudge all those lines. Okay, then while I'm at it, I'm going to get a little blush color. Today is, let's go with this. This color is called Baby Watermelon. It looks really, 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 really dark, bright pink. See that bright pink in the middle? It looks really crazy. It's not. Watch. See? Told you. It's not that crazy. And it's cream. All of this is cream. Well, the eyeshadows. Most of the eyeshadows are powder. But it's cream, so it really likes the skin. And it's so buildable, so you don't have to be married to, you really can't screw up either. So, let's say you accidentally dip your brush and you go with whatever, Baby Watermelon across your forehead. And oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You're going to take the brush that had your highlight color on it and you're going to buff it out. I mean, really, it will go away. Because it's very, very user-friendly. Okay, so now here we are, and I'm going to soften that a little bit. Okay, so my whole face is done. Like all of the contouring, the highlighting, I lied. So I'm going to take this lighter color, and the only thing I'm going to do under my eyes is right here, stamp a little bit right there, and right there. That's what I'm going to do, okay? And then I'm going to kind of blend that just to the side of my nose and barely over here, okay? Just to the side of my nose and barely over there, because again, you do not want to focus on those little fine lines. Because if you squint, if you wear glasses, you're going to put glasses on, and then all of those little wrinkles are going to be magnified because they're behind your lens of your glasses. So, okay. So then I take this, okay, and then I'm just going to pat this out all over my face, okay? You'll really see where it does the most work under my eyes and beside my nose, okay? And here on the cheekbones, okay? I can't see. Okay, so see, it's still there. I'm gonna move the comment. I'm gonna swipe those comments away for a second. It's still there, but it's not like, see? Blended, not blended. Okay. Oh, my cat wants to say hi. Hi, Pippa. Yeah, she wants to get up here, but she cannot. Okay. See what I mean? So much better. And again, if you want a really, really subtle line, well, just keep blending. Just keep blending. You can even take your first brush, go back over with your foundation or highlight color if you want, and lightly brush over that. Totally your preference. I try to be careful with the contour not to come, like, especially beyond the center of my eye, because your cheekbone does not come to here. You really want to stop that contour. You really want to stop that contour where the cheekbone ends, which usually is pretty close to the edge of your eye. So I got a little happy there, but anyway. Okay, so now I'm in the middle of the face where it really matters. So I flip it around to the pointy end and just blend it. You gotta be really, really gentle. I mean, I am pressing so lightly. I'm gonna do the other side and then I'll do my nose. Okay, so lightly. Okay, but still there. So then the same thing with the contour. You just want to blend those lines together. You still want to be able to see that there's definition, but you just don't want to see the, you know, again, we go with the paint by numbers. You don't want to see, you don't want to see the number. Okay? So, as I said, I told you, it would all work out. Now I'll swipe the comments back. Okay, what's next? Let's do some eyebrows. I used to think that eyebrows were not that important and was so wrong because eyebrows are huge. They are a face framer. They outline, they outline the edge of your face and make a huge difference. Now my other cat is here. I am crazy cat lady. No, I only have two. There's only two. But now that we are not in the 1980s anymore, I realize that eyebrows are important, and there are so many good tips about how to do your eyebrows. First of all, you don't want them to be super, super thin. Now, I do not have, I don't have many eyebrows as it is. I can't get them waxed because I'm allergic to it. But they have taught us that the way that you figure out like where your eyebrows should start, stop, peak, all that stuff is just to find something straight. Just use a brush, whatever. This happens to be another mascara brush, so it's got the spoolie on this end, and it's got this little teeny tiny angled, kind of, it's hard, like, you know, the bristles are pretty packed in tight, so you take a brush, put it against the side of your nose, and go straight up. And that, right there, is about where your eyebrow should start, okay? Then keep the brush at the side of your nose and go straight across the center of your eye, and that up there is where the peak of your eyebrow should be. So, and then you take the side of your nose to the edge of your eye, and that is where your eyebrow should end. Now, if you can see, my eyebrow ends way before that, right? So I have to do a little fakery. And there's two tricks to that. Number one, you don't draw down, especially when you're old or mature, not old, mature, right, Tracy? You'll love that when you hear that later. You draw the longer line out a little bit out toward the temple and not, and not down, because that just draws your eye down. We don't need that. We don't need that at age 49. Really, you don't need that at age 29, but there's less of an issue. Okay, so I'm using an eyeshadow color to do my eyebrows, and I'm going to set it later with that setting spray, so it basically becomes the same thing as an eyebrow pencil. So I'm using, and I'm going to draw a pretty bold line at the bottom of my eyebrow. Okay, and I'll make that curve up there. I'm just going until the product runs out. Okay, so I'm at the end of my eyebrow. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna just kick it out this way. Never old, just wise. I agree. Just wise. Okay, so see, I kicked that out instead of continuing it down. You don't want to do that. Okay. So then I touched a little bit more product, and now I'm just going to take this brush and I'm going to start pulling that color up. Okay, just up. If this color seems dark to you, okay, don't use something as dark. But having a moderately bold brow really does make all the difference in the world. I used to think that it just didn't matter at all, but man, when I see pictures, especially of like in the 90s, when we all had pencil thin brows, oh boy. No bueno. Okay. So, here we go. All right. So there you have it. I mean, look, seriously, look at the difference. That is a huge difference. Like, I could almost go with maybe a little bit of mascara and just stop. I'm not going to. I'm going to actually put some eyeshadow on, just a little bit, but that's how big of a difference the brow makes. It just wakes up, look, it just wakes up the face. Whoa! Right? Right, Todd? I think he's still there. I don't know. He's being very quiet. He's here, but he's being very quiet. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other one, and that is not very straight. That's okay. Again, I can fix it. So does anybody know what the Facebook policy on using background music is? Because it's really, really quiet. And I tend to like a little bit of background noise, but I don't know. I've seen people get in trouble. Okay, again, I drew the line, I kicked it out instead of down. Okay, so that's about where it's supposed to end. So I was pretty close. Okay. All right. And then take the spoolie brush and make everything go up, not sideways. And then just, fix it, do little touch-ups as you want. I feel like the inside of my brow is a little too light. Okay. All right, brows done. Okay, so now, no, one more thing before that. All right, so now I'm just going to do a really simple eyeshadow, just because I don't see any reason to go bonkers. I'm going to use, this color that is called Bubba, and I'm just going to put it, and again, when you start to age, or really, it's not even necessarily age, because I don't want anybody to think that that's all I'm talking to, is those of us with mature skin, but when you start to age, your eyelid starts to loosen and falls over on top of itself. That's called a hooded eye, which I have. So you see how, like, when I open my eye regularly, you can't see this part of my eyelid. So when I, this is just relaxed. When I put an eyeshadow color all over my eyelid, I bring it up just a little bit higher, up to here, so that you can see it, because then that sort of gives you the illusion of less of a hood. Okay, and so my color is going to be focused out here and here, okay, just so that you can so that your eye is drawn upward. I'll put a little color over down here for, you know, when I do raise my eyebrows. I don't want it to look like I haven't done anything to the rest of the eyelid. But yeah, the color goes up above that brow bone a little bit. Because you do have, if you have a hooded eye, and some people just have that naturally. And I don't know about you, but I'm way too chicken to have people cutting on my eyes. No way. Way too chicken. So yeah, just a little bit of Bubba there. And I think I'll just do a little bit. This color is called Philly. And I'm just going to do just a little bit, and it's really kind of a V. See, it starts there, goes out to the corner. See how it's a letter V? And then I'll flip that brush around. This brush is called the I, as in me, Eyeshadow Everything. This is a great brush. This is the very first one I ever bought, and I loved it. I actually started when I bought mascara products the first time. So I started with that V, and now I'm just sort of lightly smudging it and drawing it across in this little windshield wiper motion. So see? So the color is drawn outward and upward, okay? And then if you need more blending, you just tap back into that first color, that Bubba, and go up and out. Ain't no shame in pulling that eyelid out so that you can see the blending a little bit clearer, okay? So then I wipe that up because you don't want your eyeshadow color to drop down. That just pulls your eyes down. Hi, Christine. Not quite Continental Singers level makeup, but you know. Okay. All right. So, all right, let me do the other eye. What was I talking about? Oh, when I first started buying mascara makeup, the first thing I bought was this brush and I think 4 eyeshadow colors. Because when you do that, it's like if you buy every palette can be free depending on how many colors you purchase. So I actually have, if you're interested in just looking around at the products, I'll add a party link at the bottom. I've opened a party, and if you want to go in and if you want to just look around, they have a ton of stuff. They have a really good skincare line, a moisturizer that I just love. They're called Milk products, and they are really, really great. All right, so clean that up a little bit. See, this is why sometimes I will start with my eyes so that, so that I can clean it up with the other thing. Okay, so eyeshadow basically done. Where did my brush go? Oh, I set it down. I can't find it. All right, let me blend this a little bit better. And then, because again, with this hooded eye, if you're gonna use something glittery, frosty, whatever, it's better to use that here on the insides of your eyelids where you can see it, because you don't want to put it here because that just draws it backwards. You don't want to do that. You want to pull everything out. So I'm going to use a matte color. It's called Cupcake, just for here at the top of my brow, just right there. Just kind of lift it and bring a little brightness up there. Oh, good. My cat is, she's playing with the strings on the blind. Okay, I gotta get some, water. Okay, so last thing before, we're like almost finished. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that darker color, that Philly, and that will serve basically as my bottom eyeliner. Thank you, Pippa. That's really, really helpful. All right, so eyeshadow done. All right, and now I am gonna do, most makeup lines call this, what do they call it? Highlight, but that's what we call the whole foundation. We call this, in mascara world, Illuminator. And we have it in creams and we have it in powders. The powders are very, very powerful. So, so I tend to kind of stick toward the cream. And this cream is a real pretty, here, I'll show you. It's this color right here. It's called Angel. It's really, really pretty. And so that goes right above where your blush was on that top of the cheekbone. And it's a really good light catcher. It's really, really pretty. And doesn't show off fine lines. With mature skin, again, you don't want to get right up under your eyes with this because then it'll just settle into those little lines. You can put it on the bridge of your nose if you so choose. You can put it right there on the Cupid's bow of your lips. Your choice. Have a good time with it. Okay, and then bronzer. And then we're done. I'm not going to show you how I do mascara. I'll put a after picture later. I'll put that up. I'll go do my mascara because y'all have sat here for long enough. I'm not going to torture you through that. Okay, so bronzer. This is actually the color that I used for here, so I really don't even hardly have anything on here because I just want to blend this brush out. So bronzer goes where the sun would get you. Okay, so right here, and go back into your hairline a little bit so it doesn't look quite so unnatural. Right here, a little bit on the top of your nose, and then I'll go back over here. This bronzer is called Bella, and it's really, really beautiful. It's a cream. There's another one called Cayman, as in the islands, and it's a powder. It's a little bit lighter than this. It's really pretty too. And then last but not least, I put it on my neck so that if you're spray tanned or whatever, your neck matches like your chest. If you're spray tanned and you don't do spray tan on your face, which a lot of people just don't because it either breaks them out or makes doing makeup too hard. Yeah. So I've done illuminator, I've done highlight, bronze, eyes. Really the only thing that I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to kill time showing you how to do mascara. You don't know how to put mascara on. And I have a lifelong battle with my eyelashes, but I do use an eyelash serum. I've worn the eyelash extensions before, but that was too much trouble for me. It was expensive, and it drove me crazy that I couldn't, rub my eyes and get all my makeup. I've never felt like I got all my eye makeup off because I barely touch my eyes. And I think some of them have gotten extreme, and they just look like you can't, and they're so thick that you can't see your eye makeup. So not for me, but there's a ton of people who love them, and more power to you. It's just not a thing for me. So yeah, not only is doing mascara live really awkward, but yeah, I think I can show you, I can do it later and put a picture up of after it's all done. And so here we are. So yeah, so I have, that's a really long demo, first time demo of mascara. I promise every week it will not be this long. But I also didn't put anything on my lips. Here we go. all of these blush colors. Oh wait, I do have something for my lips. Hello, I forgot. All of these blush colors are also, they are lip and cheek colors. So, I mean, there's tons of them. This one is called Sadie, but that baby watermelon I told you about, that real bright pink, I could have put that on my lips too. It's a matte. Man, that is, wow. That's really pink. Okay. All right. We'll go with it. It works, huh? Man, yeah, that's really, really pink. That's like midsummer pink. But it didn't look like that on my cheeks. So anyway, everything is really flexible. So if you are interested, if you have any questions about the mascara product, great. You can email me at that help@bchamblessed.com. And I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to answer questions if there's just something you need me to pray about, I'm happy to do that. If there is, if you have something beauty related, fire away. I'm not saying I have all the answers by any stretch of anybody's imagination. So I did not do this setting spray, but I do it all the time. So I spray the Perfector sponge, which is kind of damp. So when you're using a beauty blender Perfector sponge of any kind, big tip, get it wet, like really, really wet, then squeeze it out. Then roll it in a towel and squeeze it again. And so that it's just damp. You can feel that it's wet, but not dripping, okay? That is how it works, because that's how it picks up the excess product. Okay, so this one is now wet again with the setting spray. And so I'm going to put it over my eyeshadow, my eyebrows, and really basically like under my eyes, on my nose, all those places that tend to get kind of shiny. Since I've been using mascara, I am not quite so averse to having kind of a dewy look. You see what I mean? This is not oily. This is just dewy. And you see where that Illuminator, that angel Illuminator goes? I like that. I think it's pretty. And there's some days where you can, where I will set it with a setting powder, but it's just, I only set it like right here and right here and right here, because, and you have to just use such a gentle touch, just such a light hand with it, because for me, because my face is so shiny and then it cakes up, and so I have to be real selected, real judicious with powder, because it tends to turn into kind of a clay look, and I don't want that. So, but mascara has a really good, really fine setting powder. It's called Vanilla Dust. This one is also good. It's cheap. You can get it everywhere, like Walgreens, Walmart, Target, everywhere. And it's like $7 or something like that. But again, really, really light hand. And this one kind of has a smell that I'm not crazy about. But again, it's affordable and is just available everywhere. But mascara has one, and you know, a lot of people love the Laura Mercier powder. It's expensive, but will last forever. So there's only about 1 trillion different ways to go. But if you see anything that you're interested in, or if you have any questions, or if you just need an ear, I'm happy to do that, because I feel like that's the door that's been open. I appreciate you sticking around. Whoever's here, I'm just so grateful, and my lips are really pink. It's sort of freaking me out. Whoa. It's sort of freaking me out, but I'm really, really thankful for your time, because I know it is precious, and I will be praying for you, regardless who you are, and where you are in your faith walk. And I'm here for whichever need you might have. So I hope that you have a wonderful week, and let me know if there's a better time, because really Wednesdays are pretty free. So I could do this later in the afternoon, or I could do this earlier in the morning. I could do it earlier in the morning, and then I'd be up and dressed. So, but I do solemnly swear, Scout's honor, right, Todd? Scout's honor that the next ones won't be this long, because I won't always do a full face. So anyway, if you come back later, you can watch the replay. I'm going to link the party link. I will give you a link to the book, and I'll list all the scripture references, all the products that I used, and we're going to try and toy around with editing this video and making it fast. So, and then I'll give you I'll do my mascara and put up a total after look. So I am so grateful to you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I hope that you are blessed.